I would like to say to whoever has my children that they please bring them home.
These are the lies 23-year-old Susan Smith was spreading back in 1994.
Can't express how much they are wanted back home, how much we love them, we miss them.
Standing in front of cameras telling the nation that she was carjacked by a black man while both of her baby boys were still in her car. For 9 days, investigators searched for 3-year-old Michael and 14-month-old Alex. But soon, not everyone was buying her story.
Why would somebody carjack a car with a woman and 2 kids in it and want their kids in there?
Then, the horrifying truth.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children.
The mother who cried for her babies rolled her car into this cold, dark Union, South Carolina lake and drowned her boys who were strapped in the back seat.
I'll never forget what Susan has done to me and my family.
Leaving her heartbroken husband, David Smith, with inconceivable grief.
And I'll never forget Michael and Alex. But forgive, that's something I'm going to have to deal with, I guess, further on down the road.
And now the murdering mom, who has spent 10,910 days behind bars, thinks about her parole and is haunted by the dreams of her boys struggling as they died.
The thoughts of wondering if her boys called out for her when they were drowning. She lives with that.
Why would a mother kill her own children? That was the question that gripped the nation as the media swarmed the Union, South Carolina courthouse. A jury sending the master manipulator to prison for a life sentence with the possibility of parole.
Life in prison for Susan is everything I think people wanted for her. I think it's exactly what the jurors wanted for her.
Documentarian Melissa Moore has been communicating with Smith for several years behind bars, wanting to learn what would drive a mother to kill.
Maybe there isn't a way to make sense of the senseless, but I am open to exploring that there are other possibilities and reasons. What would make a woman who seemingly loves her children do the unthinkable?
She is now eligible for parole after 30 years, something the lead prosecutor deeply regrets.
I look at the case itself as a failure on my part because unfortunately she did not get the death penalty.
A failure because Tommy Pope believes Smith is nothing more than a cold-hearted killer.
Why didn't she get the death penalty?
I think the defense did a tremendous job. They worked the public opinion, they worked the media attention to go from Susan the monster to Susan the victim.
The victim because she was painted as a woman who is still suffering from sexual abuse at the hands of her stepfather and an untreated mental illness.
Tommy, the jury showed her mercy, but she did not show mercy to those 2 boys.
Absolutely not. I always say that any case when her life's taken, there's some mental health aspects, clearly. Susan's mental health, one diagnosis in the DSM, and she's histrionic. She's either the victim or the princess, and she's always got to be the center of attention.
Pope says the real reason Susan Smith wanted her children dead while separated, she was in a relationship with her boss who didn't want kids.
She knows there's a lot of people that despise her and think she is a monster, she's evil. She understands that.
Smith hasn't exactly been a model citizen. Her incarceration has been marred with infractions, including having sex with guards and drug use. And the man who stood beside her as she spewed her lies, ex-husband David Smith, telling Court TV in an exclusive interview that she should stay where she is.
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure you stay behind bars.
David has had a difficult time, and to his credit, has gone on with his life, but he's strong enough to make sure justice continues to be served in this case.